Okay, you're helping after this quick nap? All right, guys. So hopefully by now you have seen this tablescape. You can tell my table arch is up. I'm already bored and wanted to move on to the next thing. But I have this beautiful tablescape that I did. It was so easy. I have my incredible pencil tinsel tree, which I love. You guys have probably seen it in a few of my videos if you've been watching my Christmas 2020 playlist. And I am just obsessed with it. I mean, I already had a tinsel tree that I normally put here, but I don't normally decorate it, especially to this extent. But you guys, like, I think the botanical elements in this, the orchids, the poinsettias, there's just so many, the amaranth, it's just such a pretty tree. I really love it. I really love it. Especially here, I'll back up just ever so slightly because it's hard for the camera to get the champagne effect, but it's not like an offensive gold. And that's what I was worried about, but the champagne is gorgeous. Now you can tell that I have the orchids in at such a great height where it's like right about at that awkward ceiling height that I have. But how did I do that? Well, I'm going to show you 2 tricks that I have done to help make this tree look bigger and prettier, and how to make a really cool and quick skirt or tree base bottom for the tree. Now, right now, I'm totally cheating and making this tree taller by putting it on an Amazon box. One of the great things about this tree is that it's so lightweight, but I only could find it in a 6-foot height, and obviously my ceiling is just a bit taller. So how did I make it more proportionate to the space? Well, using that lightweight to our advantage, I put it on a box from Amazon that I just taped up, made nice and secure. It's in a corner, so I'm not really worried about a high traffic volume. But, I mean, who wants to look at a box there? And even if you wrap the box, you still have the weird tree legs or whatever, so we're going to fix that. But another quick trick that I did to make this fill in the space was putting in these beautiful Phalaenopsis orchid stems, floral picks that I picked up at Michael's, and I just have 3 here, and they fill it in so beautifully, create such a wonderful tree topper. I really am just, I could not ask for a more simple and pretty tree topper. Another thing I did to make the scale of the tree a little bit larger and grander was, I think, that poinsettia, the white poinsettias that you have in there, or you can see, I only have 5 of them, you know, and this is a 6-foot tree, so I only have 5 of them. But I think given the size and the location of them, it just makes it look that much more grand. And because I wanted to keep with that botanical floral effect, that blue that you're seeing, think of that in lieu of ribbon, which might be a little bit heavier. I used this amaranth, which is blue with gold tips and accents on it, but it creates the flowing effect and that cascading effect, an illusion of this is so tall and it has cascading ribbon down it, but it keeps on the theme. And truthfully, I think if you had a 3-inch ribbon, wire ribbon, or even a 2-inch one, I think it would look a little bit too I don't want to say disproportionate, but a little, it's the ratios between that and then using the large poinsettias that you see there. I think they would be competing with each other. And as I think in this instance, they are supporting each other. So we talked about how we can make the tree bigger. So we did that. We got beautiful, large scale, orchid, but whatever floral you want, toppers in the top of the tree. We use large scale poinsettias just sparingly throughout the tree, and then we used amaranth to create a cascading, towering almost effect in our box. So how are we going to fix our box? The last problem. Well, I believe that this is our solution. This is a super basic blue sequin tablecloth from Amazon. I got a 48 by 48 inch because the bigger the better, in my opinion. You can always use it for something else. And so we're going to use that to drape this because, like I said, it's in a high traffic area. It's a low traffic area. And I have this beautiful navy linen, the satin, that I didn't think I wanted this satin next to satin. I think that would be a little bit much. Plus, with all of the texture on this tree, I wanted to kind of keep the texture going. So we have a navy satin on the table. So we're going to do a navy sequin here, and it's going to help us cover some cords, the box, the legs. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Before we get started on this, I just want you guys to know, as somebody who has worked in weddings and events for literally over a decade at this point, I don't want you guys to think that the satin linen that I'm using on my tablecloth, the sequins that I'm using here, I don't want you to think that this is what you're getting when you rent from reputable companies. These are definitely the cheap quality versions. This is not what you get when you rent something. So the price matches what you get. Like, this is definitely a you get what you pay for thing. Like, this satin tablecloth, I think was, I want to say under 30 bucks, but it depends on what size table you're getting. If you rented it, it would probably be the same price, depending on where you got it from and the duration of your rental, but it would be a much higher quality. This one is snagging and it's hard to iron. It probably isn't going to last forever. So just keep that in mind. Not that you want to rent a tablecloth necessarily, but just, I don't want you to be like, oh, I can buy all these pretty linens online and it's better than buying or renting them. That's just not true. So this is a pretty basic blue overlay, but because the box is pretty solid, we don't have to worry about the opacity, oh my god, I'm making words up, the opacity as much, because it's not like, we just need to drape it correct one time and that's it. That's all we gotta do. Now we're just wrapping it around, starting with one corner over here, and I'm just slightly, I mean, I'm barely moving the box out, just so we can get a nice corner on here. Pulling this around, and then I'm gonna keep on wrapping around here. I'm hoping you guys can see this okay. Accidentally hit stop recording, so my apologies, but all I was doing was wrapping the box so that the lowest part of the linen is lightly dusting the ground. We just want a little bit of, what would you call it? Gathering. It's not really gathering, but kind of layering. Because what we're doing is we're pulling the excess linen up around the base and then around the back, covering the back portion of your box. Just so there's no peekaboo cardboard in there. And then making sure that those raw edges, or not that they're raw, but the underside, let's say, is tucked in and we're not seeing any exposed, because the underside of this isn't super pretty. So we're just kind of almost folding under, just creating a nice drape. And you know, this is fabric, so it's okay if it's not laying 100% flat. So I'm just gonna zhuzh this and then I'll show you the finished look. All right, and there it is. I like that the sequins are catching all of the lights coming out of the tree. I love the kind of draping effects and making it look, I don't know, more organic, I guess, in nature. Just a nice flow. It's not just like, here's a box that I wrapped. I think it looks really great and has more opportunity to catch the light. I was able to wrap it around. You don't see any box, you don't see any wires. This is the cat that's been yelling the whole time in the background. The puppies that aren't helping. I don't know where the other one went, but he'll turn up. So here is the final look, and I'm seeing from my kind of the hallway back here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. For whatever reason, all of the sparkle on the tree is just impossible for the camera to pick up and keep in focus. But we got the navy here, and then this rich navy looks perfect with the blue orchids, the blue amaranth, and the handful of dark blue ornaments that we just sparingly put on the tree. It just brings it all together really nicely, pops beautifully, and covers the box. So just to recap what we learned here today, if you find a pencil tree, whether it be tinsel, whatever traditional method you want, this one's covered in glitter, whatever kind of pencil tree you find, or slim fit tree, here's how we made it taller. We put it on a box, a sturdy box, but a box nonetheless. We put really tall florals. It doesn't have to be florals. You can get glitter picks, whatever, just nice something tall, something picks in the the Christmas section, but even the regular floral section. We put them up top to help fill in that gap. And between those, the box, we added at least 1.5 foot onto this basic 6-foot tree. And then to cover up the base of any slim tree, which is usually those same wire legs, we just used I used a 48 by 48 inch sequin tablecloth overlay. Super basic from Amazon, very affordable, very cheap. You could reuse it and you just drape it on. And then that way, if anybody happens to see it, it looks beautiful. And if you put presents and maybe candles or something, I was thinking of putting some LED candles on there, I think it would look even better. But for now, if that's all you wanted to do, it would look great. I hope you guys learned something quick and easy in this tutorial. If you want to see how this tablecloth and table decor with all of these gorgeous floating snowflakes came together, you guys, I have a whole video for it, and it's so easy. These are from the dollar store. These vases, candles are super cheap. These are from Hobby Lobby. You guys, you can make this literally in less than an hour if you have all the materials. Super quick. All right, guys. Stay tuned for more Christmas videos. Thanks so much for watching.